what 8.5% interest rate on your mortgage results into in terms of how much you pay over time. So let's talk about the hidden costs of interest rates in a mortgage when interest rates are at 8%.
This is insane. This blew my mind. The average home in the United States is about $430,000. So when rates were 2.5%, over the life of that 30-year loan, you would have paid the price of the home, the $430,000, plus $181,000 in interest. And now with interest rates at 8.5%, that 30-year mortgage, not only has the payment shot up, we've talked about that many times, you would pay an additional $760,000 over the life of the loan in just interest, which is more than double. The difference from 2 years ago is $579,000 more because of interest. This is the hidden cost that people don't think about. Over the life of the loan, you're paying for this if at 8.5%, you're paying more than double and almost triple because the price of the home, the $430 plus $760,000. That's insane.
I think that I would actually disagree. I think intuitively, if you've ever got an amortization schedule as a buyer, you actually do know that the higher the interest rate, you're going to pay more in interest costs, and over time it can get, this is just putting
I think you're smarter than the average consumer.
Okay, but I think everybody kind of looks at it and goes like, oh, wow, that's a lot of interest.
Yes.
I think maybe not everybody, but at least a third, maybe half kind of seems like, oh, well, at least my payment is this. Point of this, though, is actually showing you the difference. So we're talking $760,000 in interest payments, right? Yes. Versus $181,000 in interest payments. The person that never even went to school at least knows there's a difference between 180 and 760.
And it's huge.
And it's huge. It's so massive. And this is why things are going to slow down dramatically. Going back to what we say, people just stay idle because they're like, oh, I got to figure this thing out.
Yes.
There's definitely solutions, but this is why if we don't get back to those lower interest rates.
If we don't go back to those lower interest rates, house prices have to come down because you'll essentially like run out of buyers. There's a couple supply side things here. We've talked about before, building permits are down. We're at like base level transactions just a little under 4 million. That's going to keep moving along. What was interesting when I looked at this tweet, the first reply was from Elon, and he says, interest rates are insane. And he's been very vocal about how the government is destroying the economy. And you have to think about why he's really vocal. His main business, Tesla, survives on interest rates because they sell cars. So if interest rates are really high, it eats into their margin and they sell less cars. So of course he's going to be critical of it. I just thought it was funny that he was the first reply to this specific tweet, like interest rates are insane. I think people intuitively understand these numbers. So I was joking when I said the average consumer doesn't get this, but I don't think they understand how big it is, how this is over $500,000 more in interest, how it's almost 600 grand in interest that they would be paying, which means that all of these loans are destined to refi. People think that this is just interest rates. You have to always remember that the winter has a natural slowdown in the real estate cycle. There's a spring cycle that starts about March, and then prices peak somewhere around July or June, within a month or two, and then the rest of the year they always decline slightly. So this winter is just going to over-exasperate that with rates around 8%.
That's so crazy because I know that I'm excited about getting $500 off my TV that I'm going to buy today, right? So imagine $500,000. It scares people.
100%. This is why people need to subscribe, because we are talking about this on a regular basis.
Right now.
We are talking about what's coming next. I'm literally digging through the data every week so we can give our listeners that competitive advantage. And we've been talking about where everything is going, and it's been working like clockwork. Yes, we can only see maybe 90 days, 6 months in advance. We can't predict the future, but through data and paying attention, you can really see what's happening. That's how I made $200. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one too.